The Deontay Wilder hate continues. More articles make it sound like Deontay Wilder has no chance versus Tyson Fury. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Listen, somehow, someway you guys found this video. Please smash the like button. That encourages others to find the video just like you found the video. Now, before I get started, just so you guys know, I actually recorded this video, but the audio came in distorted. And as a result, I had to re-record the audio. So the syncing will not match in the video, but I just decided to leave it just for additional B-roll or something to look at. But just so you know, my audio now, this is a re-record, so deal with it. Now, Yahoo Sports, they put out an article. It says Deontay Wilder's only hope versus Tyson Fury is one big punch. And with this article, you know, I felt compelled to kind of go over what this is insinuating and things like that. And to me, this article rubbed me the wrong way because I just didn't like how it was framed, and we're going to go through some of it. The opening statement says, if any fighter in history has had a puncher's chance, and only a puncher's chance, is Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury. So they're going out of their way to let the reader know that they personally feel that Wilder only has one puncher's chance to defeat Tyson Fury. The other thing is, I think there's just a lot of disrespect for Deontay Wilder. The other thing with that scenario is this. We have to keep in mind the first fight, Wilder went 12 rounds with Tyson Fury. So I think a lot of people are incorrectly framing this fight. I think this is a good fight. We'll see who wins. And you know, people, they keep finding a way to try to cop a squat on Deontay Wilder. It says Wilder, who lost his heavyweight title when Tyson Fury brutally stopped him in 7 rounds. Brutally stopped him. But Tyson Fury was knocked out brutally in the first fight, but it makes no mention of this in the opening statement. 19 plus months ago, Wilder is saying the right things. Training has gone well. He's gone back to the fundamentals. He's in sync with his new trainer. He's in a good frame of mind, and so on. And if you look at the rest of the article, it says all that might be true, but here's Wilder's problem. Fury remains the better and bigger fighter, a fact that could get lost in all the pre-fight hype. That's a difficult 1-2 punch to overcome. So just judging from the title, the headliner, the opening 3 stanzas, the intro, and the beginning of the body of this article, it seems all slanted and negative towards Deontay Wilder, and I think unjustly and unfairly. I mean, the title is called Wilder's Only Hope is One Big Punch. Then it says, if any fighter in the history of the sport had only one chance, a puncher's chance, is Wilder against Fury. It just sounds excessively harsh, at least in my opinion, referring to this particular fight. And I'll truthfully be glad. I'll be glad when this fight is over. I think this fight has brought a different level of toxicity. A lot of people have their own particular opinions on how this will play out, and it's just created these different reactions, if you will, in the world of boxing. And I don't think some people even know what they're talking about. Like whoever this Michael character is that wrote this article. We're going to see how it plays out. It says heavyweight history tells us it's possible for Wilder to turn the table. Joe Louis was beaten up by Max Schmeling at 22, but annihilated him in the rematch. Floyd Patterson went down 7 times in a KO loss to Johannesson, only to stop the Swede in the subsequent 2 fights. Lennox Lewis avenged his 2 knockout losses with stoppages of his own. And most recently, Joshua defeated Andy Ruiz after losing a knockout in the first fight, right? And if you read throughout the article, it continues by saying, despite all these things, this is totally different for Wilder. And I'm not understanding why people are suggesting this. For example, Wilder, he lost the last fight. It was a bad night at the office. But the article literally just says everything seems to be clicking. Wilder seems to be in great spirits, in good shape, but yet and still, that's too hard to overcome. But what's the difference? Joshua got knocked down 3-4 times versus Andy Ruiz and looked like he mentally was broken via his fight with Andy Ruiz, and he fought against Andy Ruiz in a rematch and he beat him. So it's crazy how people talk boxing, to be honest. It sounds rather foolish to me. Joshua has always been labeled this savvy, technical, fundamental puncher, right? Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. So whenever AJ is talked about in the sport of boxing, it's always regarded highly. He's always regarded with high praise and things like that for his fundamentals and his ability to punch. But Wilder, anytime he's talked about, he's constantly berated and disrespected. But if we're really being honest, AJ has 2 losses to 2 shorter guys that stylistically AJ was supposed to beat if he is what you guys said he was, right? He's an Olympic gold medalist. Wilder, truth be told, he's not even supposed to be here. He's a bronze medalist, started boxing when he was 21. And at best, his only loss is to someone who's 6'9" and outweighed him by 60, 70 pounds. So from my positioning, I really feel the fight with Anthony Joshua losing to a 5-week replacement in Andy Ruiz, who really wasn't that active before that. He had 1 fight with PBC and a dry spell leaving Top Rank and getting bought out of his Top Rank contract. And he produced the performance he did in the first Joshua fight. It's just mind-boggling that Joshua is spoken of with so much praise, but at the same time, Wilder is slanted as if there's nothing he can do, no changes he can make. Me personally, I don't see it that way. You know, and I think this article is in microcosm part of the problem. You got articles like this, you got writers like this, and they're lending their quote unquote expertise. I can't wait for this fight. You know, I'm rocking with Wilder. I'm picking Wilder. I've made that very apparent on my channel, and I'm not picking emotionally. I think Wilder beats Tyson Fury. So the bottom line is, the good thing for myself, Wilder, and other people who are picking Wilder, especially if you're betting money on it or if you've just been sticking with Wilder to reclaim the throne, there's going to be, if he does win, there's going to be a lot of people that have to eat some serious crow, because articles like this and some of the other stuff that I've been reading in the comment, Wilder can't do anything. There's no improvement he can make. And to me, it just sounds foolish when you have the type of power that Wilder has. He's told you throughout his career, they got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only have to be perfect for 2 seconds. And I think so many people are looking at this fight based on a lot of what happened in the second fight without really considering the first fight. Tyson Fury, he tried something that worked, but who's to say that's going to work again with a different situation? Like, for example, let's just be honest. If Wilder said that Tyson Fury was pillow fisted after the first fight going into the second fight, then there's a chance that Tyson Fury saying he was going to rush Wilder and he was going to fight aggressively, there's a chance that Tyson Fury caught Wilder off guard. But now, after being stopped and your ear was bleeding and you got dropped twice by Tyson Fury, then you would no longer be surprised. So that means you would be planning, or you would have to plan for anything. the first fight was one way, and it was more of a boxing match on behalf of Tyson Fury. Then the second fight was this more aggressive, super aggressive, try to get on the inside and whatever fight. So to think that Wilder, knowing that Tyson Fury has fought different styles, and now in the third fight, he has a chance to make adjustments. People are acting like there's nothing Wilder can do to adjust and to try to get his power off. Like maybe he was caught off guard. I personally think Tyson Fury cheated, which none of these articles will even mention that whole concept. But aside from that, even if you didn't believe that, you no longer have the ability to catch someone off guard if the second fight played out like it played out. And I think a lot of people are overstating what happened in the second fight. Yeah, it was, I guess, a bad night in the office for Wilder, but Wilder showed something that you can't teach, which is an immense and a crazy heart. And for me, Wilder, on his worst night, he keeps saying this too, on his worst night, the most damage Fury did was landing punches. You know what I mean? He didn't, like, imagine, here's what I'm saying. Imagine Wilder said he was poisoned. He said he felt weird. He said his legs were dead. Something looked like it was wrong with him throughout the fight. So just imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and somebody else had that type of performance and was in that status and they fought Wilder. They would be unconscious for sure. So I guess I'm not as impressed in the second performance as some people are. Again, I also feel Tyson Fury cheated. So this third fight is super important. It's going to be a legendary fight, and it's a super meaningful fight where the stakes are extremely high. So you got to give credit to the winner. There won't be any excuses, can't be any excuses. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to watch it. If you're ordering the fight, use my link in the description. You can order the fight from me directly. It does go to help the channel, but I think a lot of people are wrongfully counting Wilder out as if, we're not human and we don't have the ability to learn or adjust, or as if Wilder, even with all the detonating power that he has, there's just nothing he can do. It's just Tyson Fury's levels above him. But again, what about the first fight? I can't wait for this fight. I wish I could just wake up and it was Saturday. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.